Black Lives Matter has been a target of criticism from both its opponents and its allies for its confrontational tactics. Demonstrations that started as peaceful protests have descended into violent riots. Activists have stormed stages and stolen microphones. For this, the movement has been called too aggressive, too disruptive, too violent. But 50 years ago, the civil rights movement was criticized for all the same reasons. Though we like to remember it as nonviolent, Martin Luther King's movement used violence, needed violence, to reach its goals. He consciously dramatized police beatings of black activists to shock and embarrass federal officials into taking action. The movement even organized a youth march in Birmingham, Alabama, so children became the targets of police officers' billy clubs and German shepherds. Even Malcolm X criticized that move, but it was successful in drawing national attention to racial injustice. In fact, violence has been critical to every moment of racial justice in U.S. history, from ending slavery to confronting police brutality. Our memories and hagiography remade the civil rights movement into something more palatable. Just 30 years after the March on Washington, 57% of white Americans admitted knowing little or nothing about the event. So the more convenient narrative takes hold. It's easier to think that racial justice can be achieved peacefully, that the movement solved our racial problems and we can simply move on. It sets the scene for dismissing the need for another civil rights movement and for aggression and violence to achieve racial justice. Black Lives Matter activists have insisted this ain't yo mama's civil rights movement, but it has more in common with the civil rights movement than we'd like to remember. The truth is, if you oppose the tactics of Black Lives Matter, you would have abhorred King's. It fights the same injustices and encounters the same resistance. And just like in the 1960s, aggression, even violence, has been necessary to achieve their goals. I'm Simone Sebastian, Assistant Editor for Outlook.